Kratos here again, and I'm here with my good friend Sir Splash. Speak up, boy.
Hello.
Yeah, that's him. I'll put his channel in the description in case nobody on my channel knows who he is. I have only like 55 subscribers, so yeah. Today we're going to be explaining the we're going to give an explanation as to why multiple myths / pantheons can coexist at the same time without people like trying to downplay and say that they all exist on one big planet, so to speak. So basically, up to this point, we've only talked about the universal plus scaling that comes from Ascension to God of War 3, which were the Greek games in the series, right? And the new game, of course, deals with the Norse Pantheon instead, so it moves into another region. It would be prudent to address if this changes anything for the scaling, right? And after all, you may ask, how can there even be universal feats if the 2018 God of War game shows us the pantheons are based on specific regions of Earth? Wouldn't that retcon the series to be weaker? Well, firstly, it's a bit more complicated than that. First off, we have multiple statements from the director of animation that the new game is not retconning the prior games. And by the way, I'll be posting all these scans in the description and such. And my boy Splashy, he's gonna help edit some dope shit into the video.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah, do your best, man. So, for example, like in this conversation, Poseidon was still god of all oceans and seas, as he was always stated to be in the series, and not just god of the Mediterranean Sea or anything. And while this was brought up before, it's just as relevant now in this conversation. And that is and by the way, that is the lead writer of the new God of War, acknowledging that the telling / interpretations of all the myths, such as the primordials creating the universe, are indeed valid. What's your opinion on all that, Splash?
Well, I mean, to be real, you could just kill the downplay right there. Yeah. I mean, if they all existed on the same planet, the different pantheons, it wouldn't make sense for Poseidon to still be in charge of all the oceans. Like, do they have like 6-hour shifts and they switch off with like the North? That's not how that works. So it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, many people for some reason try to make the assumption that they are region-based. With what I just described with Poseidon, for example, it just wouldn't make sense. Like, and especially with
and it's and you see that in a lot of video games where and movies as well. Like, I'm a Star Wars guy, shameless plug. And you see a lot of times, movies and games, they have to simplify things or make it more aesthetically pleasing. Like, it's stuff called cinematic timing, all that stuff. Yeah. So when you have that, you then have stuff like the novels, explanations from authors, guidebooks. They break it down for how it really is, based on what they can show, what they are capable of showing. So. Yeah,
it's just, I just like there are downplayers, right? Then you have God of War downplayers. Like, God of War downplayers just take it to a whole new level. Like, they try to cling onto
Olympic
these
athletes.
Yeah. They try to cling onto these bullshit claims that just make no sense and are just completely irrelevant. It's just a bit ridiculous.
I mean, they work hard though. You gotta give them that.
I don't even know if they work hard, man. Like, they just look at something so basic. Like, would you call it like they play the game, right? And they just see Kratos get shot by an arrow and like take damage on his health bar, and then they just use that as like a fucking anti-feed. Like, I don't know, man.
Dude, that's literally what Danko did. That's actually what Danko did.
Yeah, that was the example. That's the funny thing. But to give an explanation as to how they can be perceived, or all these pantheons can be perceived in this game and fictional verse, right? All of this is basically just a segue to give more detail on how the myths actually do coexist, as this gets us into even more universal plus level feats for the newest God of War game, right? So the way Cory Barlog explains how he sees the different pantheons, right? It's a very short explanation it's basically that each pantheon is its own realm or realms within its borders, but let's go into more detail. Now, to start off with, I'll post this YouTube link in the description. At the above timestamp, right, the director Cory Barlog explains that he sees all the pantheons sort of like a Hubble ultra deep field image. And in case you don't know what that is, that's like a bunch of stars and so on, just like what's the best way I can explain this? So like, you know those, you know that how there's like a picture of all the like stars and galaxies just swirling all in one big image splash?
Yeah.
Like I'll send you it in Discord and I can see what you think. Like take a, I don't know how to properly explain it. You might be able to explain it better.
All right, so it looks like, who's that guy that Deadpool dressed up as in the trailer? Bob something.
Yeah, something like that.
It looks like a trippy art painting.
Yeah.
Your basic Galaxy phone case.
Yeah. Like think of Eternity, right, from Marvel. How you see all the stars and galaxies in his, like, etched into his skin, or even Uranus.
Actually, that's a perfect example.
Yeah. So imagine that, and each specific star and like galaxy is its own universe. Or multiverse, actually, right? And within each one of those little stars being its own multiverse and its own literal dimension, separate from everything else, right? Inside that would then be the Pantheon. Do you think that makes sense?
Yeah, to simplify that, think of the old school toy where it's a really big egg. You open it up, there's a smaller egg inside. Open it up, there's an even smaller one, and that's how he sees the breakdown. To the Pantheon level, eventually.
So basically, with what I just described, in essence, when you enter one of those points of light that represents a Pantheon's domain, you are essentially stepping through a subtle portal into another realm. So each of those would actually be portals, would be a better description. Although it's very likely the Greek realm dissipated into normal Greece as we know it over time after Kratos destroyed the Pantheon, seeing as the point of the series is why various mythologies are no longer followed by people. When you first meet Freya in Midgard in the new game, it's also acknowledged that Kratos comes from a different realm, as Freya literally says to him, "I know you are a god, not of this realm, but there is no mistaking it." Right? So there's just more proof backing up that each pantheon is described as its own realm. And the only ways of transportation between these realms, from what we know, is the Unity Stone. Yeah, that's the only thing that can really travel, like, to different pantheons. To travel to different realms, it would just be, you just need the light of Alfheim. In the Norse pantheon, for example, to travel to, like, Midgard, Asgard.
Yeah, that's the stone they're gonna use to beat Thanos in the last Avengers, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But I don't know. I think if I was to downplay that, they would probably say something dumb like, "Oh, the realm." I want to see someone say the realm is like Norse way of saying country. You're not from this country. I can tell.
Yeah. Dude, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know how you downplay that, but someone will pull it off.
People do it, man. Like, Verse Battles was doing it for a long fucking time until, like, 3 people decided to team up and fuck them. Like, it's pretty funny
yeah,
shit.
I still got Vader at building level, so I feel you.
Yeah, Vader at building level. That's sad.
It's still a thing.
Yeah, it's fun. You gotta fight back on that, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, so I have a couple more points before we finish off this video as well. It's like 2 points, right? So Mimir touches on this subject a few times. Again, all these will be in the description. Mimir talks about Odin's need for control, saying he would control every realm of every land in every world if he could. And this would be confirming that each pantheon or land is its own realm/world. Mimir himself even stated to be from another land. He's stated to be from another land as well, likely from the Celtic myth, being as in the current God of War novel, he states that his real name is Puck, and Puck is a fairy within Celtic myth. Or Robin Goodfellow, which would be his other name. Now, what makes the fact that Mimir is from another land is important is that he still regularly tells stories of cosmic proportions for the Norse pantheon, like the story of Surtur bringing heat to the young cosmos, for example. Even though he knows that other pantheons exist, and likewise, he regularly calls Ragnarok itself to be the end of the whole bloody world. Even though, once again, he knows other pantheons exist, this is more proof that each pantheon is its own world within its borders of the light Hubble that we discussed before. Now, in this next image, it also represents one way gods travel from a pantheon to another. The mural depicts Tyr, who is the Norse god of war, being able to travel to other pantheons. The symbols on the corners represent other pantheon/myths. Tyr did so through use of an item called the Unity Stone, which they'll beat Thanos with. Riri Williams.
Captain Marvel's got the Unity Stone.
Yeah, Riri Williams.
Spoiler.
Bull, dude.
Yeah.
You don't like that.
Dude, no one knows about the Riri Williams stuff. There's very few of us that recognize it. This has nothing to do with the Kratos video, and probably none of these viewers know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'll actually, when you're done with that video, the non-spoiler review, I might link that in my description.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, back to topic. This stone basically allowed him to travel through a cosmic void called the Realm Between Realms. And Mimir states as such in the timestamp that I'll be putting below. Mimir states as such in the following video that that's the Unity Stone. If Tyr possessed this, that explains how he would visit all the realms and other lands to boot. This confirms that reaching other lands/pantheons was more difficult than simply traveling between the 9 realms, which could be done just with normal use of the Bifrost, though the Unity Stone would have allowed Tyr to realm travel faster as well. The rest of the video shows Kratos stepping off the side of one of the Yggdrasil's branches with the Unity Stone, hurling into the void of the Realm Between Realms and passing countless stars. So that shows that Tyr would have had to travel to reach other pantheons. And yes, these countless points of lights that Kratos is hurling past are indeed actual stars, as I will be covering in the next video with the Norse scaling for basically the current game and on. Now, that's pretty much it for this video. Is there anything you would like to finish off with adding, Splash?
Yeah, so for those that still struggle with the visual aspect of the planet level Pantheon gathering, just imagine, I would tell you to look up the DC Universe scale map and then the DC Multiverse scale map. And you'll notice they are the exact same size. But one is a multiverse, one is a universe. So a lot of times for artists, they have to just use scaling. Like they just scale the picture the same way. Yeah. But one is a completely different representation in size and dimensions than the other one. So you can't be too literal, especially when the description itself contradicts your idea that, oh, I'm looking at a simple planet.
Yeah. It's just downplayers, man. I'm pretty sure you get a lot of shit from Star Wars downplayers, although it seems like you've been taking them on pretty easily. But it would get repetitive, right?
Well, yeah, with your God of War stuff, I haven't seen you struggle proving the power. It's just a lot of times with down players, you have to get them to confront you. That's the issue. You got to trap them and then actually get them to admit, okay, I'm down playing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but no, this is an issue across several different platforms. Like with Star Wars in particular, you have the movies where people take what happens in the movies and they say, okay, there's no way they can travel light speed because I can see the lasers.
Yeah,
well,
you can see them.
If it's if you saw if they traveled at light speed in the movie, you couldn't watch the movie.
It would just
That's
be
the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to track it. So that's not a movie anymore. So yeah, a lot of times you have to get deeper into it. So if you're gonna scale or attempt to scale a series, especially God of War, you got to look at everything. You can't just take one picture and be like, GG, that's it.
Mm-hmm. And before we actually finish this video off by saying goodbye and such, I just want to note that I have seen Neo's debunking quote-unquote video, and I will be responding to that soon, and Splash will be joining in as well. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm here to keep the peace, psych. But we also, I am working on getting these two into a ring to debate Kratos scaling. I don't know. It's probably, I have my own debates I do, and I have Splash Debate Wars where other people debate on my channel. So it might go down on my channel, might just go down on me and Kratos' channel.
Yeah.
But definitely look out for that, because whenever that happens, it's gonna get. So.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm looking forward to that, but yeah.
So am I, dude. Like, I'm ready to slap some bitches.
Apparently, yeah. So none of us except apparently Kratos heard their first debate, where apparently like it was a mud. So
yeah,
this will be different.
Shit.
I guess that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
so
like, dude,
it'll be fun to see this one.
That was back when I was named Kratos Solos DB Universe. That was like fucking. When would that would have been like November or some shit, dude, last year. Or like before then. Like, fuck. That was a long ass time. September even, like, fuck. So,
yeah, I don't think I knew you at that time. So,
no, you didn't. I met.
Oh wait. Maybe...
I remember you heard rumors of who I was, and then you tried training me for Star Wars stuff. So I probably would have met you around near December, somewhere around there.
Yeah, because I remember we went at it in the V over Thor.
Yeah.
It was really stupid, and I liked that it was really stupid. So I was like, I'm gonna show them Star Wars.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Say goodbye, Splash, and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
And, yeah. See you guys.
Kratos is Olympic level.
Fuck you.
This video was an illusion.
It was the Mind Stone from fucking Thanos.
The Unity Stone.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Propaganda.
Yeah.